Okay, party people. Today is a very special day. The day that I received my new Stam 1073 EQ. As many of you know, I've been waiting over a year for this, and I'm a big fan of Stam and his products. I've got 3 pieces, and all of them are outstanding, and I fully expect this to be just as impressive. I have a 1073 MPA. That is a killer piece. I use it all the time, and this is pretty much the same with the 1073 EQ, based off of the old Neve 1073s. I don't know if you can see that or not, but Josh even put a little note on. Thanks for your patience, Anthony. Signed, Stam. I appreciate it. Things are always well packed when you get them from Stam. Double boxed. That's cool. Well, let's see. Let's just leave that box in there. Oh, wonderful. What a beautiful, beautiful piece of gear. A good amount of foam there. Like I said, he does a great job of packing stuff. IEC cable, even though I got 100 of them laying around the studio. Oh, it's heavy. Just all of his stuff feels really solid, which is another thing I love about it. It's just a real piece of equipment there. So I don't know, I'm gonna go up close. We'll see it if the camera can handle this. I don't know what you can see or what you can't, but pretty cool. XLR and TRS inputs and outs on the back. Pretty cool. I know people have made comments about the knobs sticking out a little far, and you know, maybe you can see that. They do. I don't know if that really bothers me. I guess we'll see in practice. But really, really solid piece of gear. Let's see. Yeah, the knobs just feel solid. Feels like a real piece of equipment. All of Stam stuff is rock solid, though. I had no doubt. Well, let's grab the camera here and we'll check out where we're going. I have had a place reserved for it right there. Right above my 1073. You see my Cappy Pre's, one of my favorites. And you can see the SA4000 Stam again, which I love. use it all the time on the 2 bus. And then the 2A, which I was one of the first guys that jumped in on the 2A when Stam first started doing stuff. That was the first piece he did, and that set me on the journey. Now, here's the deal. There's obviously a lot of talk on forums and on the interweb about Stam and the weight and everything. And I've said my piece in different forums, but maybe not in YouTube. I love what Josh is doing. I love the ability to put a deposit on a piece of gear and save up the money and pay it off. And it's allowed a guy like me to get really rock solid equipment that I might not be able to afford, $3,500 right off the bat for a piece of equipment. I can pay the stuff off over time. Also, I've never been disappointed with the workmanship or the sound quality. Full disclosure, I've never used a Neve 1073, so when I use gear, I'm not really comparing it to the nostalgia of what I remember. I'm taking it completely at face value. The way I see it, the Stam gear is kind of like my Neve. I know a lot of guys out there have used original Neve stuff and were around when it came out, and that's awesome. But for me, the Stam gear is the stuff that I'll be talking about, in 10, 15 years, and I'll be comparing stuff to, which, again, I understand for some of you old timers that sounds squirrely, and you don't like that. We should be referring to the old gear. But, hey, you know what? It allows young guys like me to get in the game and to have good quality equipment and provide my clients with stuff that sounds good and performs well. And that's what I've always got from the Stam stuff. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't know if this will... oh, yeah. Let's set that up and try that. There you go. Nice and snug. Now, I can tell you one thing that's not going to work for me. As beautiful as this looks, these Focusrite, this ISA 428 is absolutely brutal heat. I've had it repaired a couple of times. It puts off so much heat, it's obnoxious. Matter of fact, it put off so much heat that my MPA started failing. I had a big session a while back, and I never had problems with my MPA, and it kept shutting down, and I figured it out because it was right on top of this. So this is probably going to go out, and I'm going to put a space there and use a little, or leave a little airflow and see how that treats it. But if that doesn't work, I'll have to find another hole for the Focusrite. But that's that. Let's pop some screws in here. I'm pretty big on manually screwing in my rack screws. I don't use a screw gun. The last thing I want is to strip out all my rack rails and have to replace them. So I generally do things the old way by hand. And if something isn't going smoothly in, I just move it to another hole, and if it doesn't work there, I just get another screw. Yeah, that guy, he's not treating me right. Let's try something different. It's so therapeutic to install new equipment. I love building racks and wearing stuff up. Oh, it's beautiful. Now, the other thing I'll say, I know that a lot of you folks out there are going to want, to hear it working, comparison, different files. I'm not that guy. I don't apologize for it. There's guys that have the time to do that, and are really good at equally setting the volume and evenly doing this and that. It's just not what I'm interested in. I like I said before, I take gear at face value. I plug stuff in, I turn the knobs until it inspires me and I like it, and then we go with it. If it doesn't sound right, I'll move on to another piece of equipment. So I apologize for you guys that, want all the details on it. Also, I'm not the guy to unscrew the lid and show you the guts. I know some guys are into that, and that's totally cool. But I'm not that guy, so you have to do that on your own. But I will plug it in. I am that guy, and let's fire it up. Let's see the light come on. The other thing that's important to mention is, because this stuff's going all over the world, make sure you get the voltage switch to your appropriate voltage. On the back, there's a switch by the input, Edison, or the IEC input. So I switched it to 115. Ta-da! Brilliant. Alright. That's done for me now. Maybe I'll give you some a future update once I use it and plug it in on a session, but that is pretty awesome. Thank you.